Welcome to Do This, Not That, the podcast for marketers. We share quick tips, things you can do right now, and then we add a little bit of chaos at the end of every episode. We also keep it short, like this intro. Let's check it out. We are back for Do This, Not That, and I could not be more excited about who is here. I am being so real. So let me tell you who is here and then why I'm so excited. So Eileen Wilder is here. Now, you may know Eileen Wilder because she's one of the biggest names out there speaking about sales and about how to get people going and all this stuff. But let me tell you really why she's here. There's very few times that I go to a session and see somebody speak and that's not just because I'm not like some great speaker or whatever, but usually I go to a session, I'm like, this is so boring. And I do a fake phone call and I want to get out of the room because I can't take it. And I didn't know who Eileen was. I'm sitting in this room and she gets up to speak and it blew my mind. She's like on the Mount Rushmore of public speakers of anybody that I've ever seen speak. And we're going to talk today about all of that. But her story is so inspiring because she didn't like come up the ranks like, I'm going to be a public speaker and I'm going to teach people how to sell and do all this stuff. She has the most wild background. And for anybody out there that's like, you know what? I'm stuck in this one thing. I can never do something else. Eileen is here to tell you otherwise. She went from being a pastor for 20 years. Okay. And she pivoted. And within just 2 years, she had a multi-million-dollar business. Who can do that? Eileen can do that. She's here. I'm so excited. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jay. I'm so pumped to be here. It's going to be so fun.
All right. So I did a horrendous job of explaining who you are because I got very excited. I was all over the place.
Oh, I
Can you
love it.
tell everybody who you are and
Mhm.
how Eileen became Eileen?
Yes. Well, primarily, Jay, I help people, crush it from stage, not be boring, and install a virtual event to accelerate sales now. But close to 40, I was a pastor, like you said, and I was a pastor, but I was also super broke. So I was living in an apartment, a two-bedroom apartment, 3 kids. My husband was Uber driving just 5 years ago. And since that time, and since we learned how to communicate, help other people communicate, we've done over about $14 million in sales, and now just growing our business like crazy and helping people like crazy. So super fun.
Okay, so wait, let's unpack this a little bit. You're in your small apartment. Your husband's driving an Uber. This
Yes.
is 5 years ago.
This is 5 years ago. Yep, right.
5 years ago.
100%.
And what happens? You wake up and you say,
Oh,
don't deliver the pizza. I got a new idea. I'm going to make a lot
stop
of
it.
money. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is so cool. I went to a conference, which I love events, and so I learned about how to do an event, like how to host an event and how to speak at that event in a way that you could sell something, especially Jay, selling something premium or like a coaching consulting offer. That was high ticket. I was very nervous to do it my first time. And I got 6 people in my very first event, but I learned how to communicate in a way that caused people to want to buy. That's the big difference that I see between like boring speakers and speakers who crush it is they're able to cause desire from the audience to want to buy, whereas boring speakers are just like lulling everybody to sleep and therefore 0 people want to buy. So I learned how to create this desire in the audience to come toward me, to apply, to get on the phone, and I did $108,000 in that one event. So I went from like zero, nothing to being able to have this skill. And then I like did 108,000 and I turned to my husband and I was like, babe, you got to quit Uber tonight. We got to go. We're going all in this. And that's what we did. Yeah. In
So
2020.
okay, so you went to this conference, you learned how to do it, you start doing it, and now you're making some money, whatever. But let's
Yep.
unpack a little bit for everybody that's listening. Is everybody that is listening, they might not get on a big stage. Maybe they
Sure.
present on a Zoom, maybe
Yeah.
they talk to people in a conference room, a small thing, or even a group of people at a cocktail
Yeah.
party. What is, the Eileen secrets to number one, not being nervous when you
Right.
speak, or do you always
So
get nervous? And
good.
then how do you capture attention fast so people are like, yeah, I want to listen to this person?
So good. Yeah. Well, let's capture attention fast because most people can just with this one little move, they can instantly form more magnetic connection with people. And the big speakers do it from stage too. So it's a move called going from I to you. So when you meet somebody, normally they'll say something like, "Jay, tell me what you do," and you'll be like, "I," and then if we can make that as short as possible, okay, like, Jay, if I asked you, "Jay, what is it that what you do?" What would you say?
I have a digital agency and I sell media products.
Yeah, perfect. And then as soon as Jay's done saying that sentence, if Jay can switch to you, and you'll see great, networkers be able to just be like, what do you do? If we switch to you as fast as possible, that's the key to engagement. There have been studies that show that the brain lights up when it hears the word you. And this is what most speakers are not doing from the platform.
So what does that mean? How do you switch to you? So when someone says,
Yeah.
"What do?" You say, uh, "You sell digital media products?"
No, no,
What is
no,
that?
sorry.
Oh.
So you're like, "Yeah, I run a digital agency and I sell, media products." You could go immediately like, "Tell me what you do." Or
Oh,
you could say thank you. You could say, people struggle." This is a great, like, kind of follow-up liner, like, "You know how people struggle with getting their marketing to work? Well, what I do is I install a marketing system inside of businesses that immediately drives leads," or whatever does that make
okay.
sense? So
It
you're gonna go to, or "What do you do?" We're gonna just move to you. Yeah,
And
you
is
go.
that why you've okay, so now you start out your web presentation, your talk, whatever, say,
Mhm.
like, literally is it instantly relatable? Like, you know how you have this
Yeah,
thing that blah, 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 blah,
good,
and then everybody's like, "Yeah, that's me," and they
good.
connect? That's the
You're
move?
Yeah, let me get like, so let's say you're
Yeah,
walking into the boardroom, you're walking
yeah,
into the room, walking into
yeah,
the platform. You're gonna a great first liner here because now I can't have an individual conversation with Jay. I'm gonna go to the whole room. I'm gonna say, "How many of you," boom, so it's in the first, like, couple words there. How many of you, fourth word, "How many of you would like to install a digital marketing machine inside of your business that's going to drive sales and leads?" Somebody shout, "That sounds good." So we're just going to go, that's called a universal question. Universal question, just everybody saying yes. How
okay.
many of you? Now, immediately you have the room right there.
So now what? Now I got the room, what do I gotta do next?
Well, what I love to do is, so you want me to kind of walk you through like first couple
Yeah,
moments
yeah,
here in a
yeah,
presentation? Yeah. So we're gonna go, how many of you, universal question, and then this is what I like to say. I say, like, in today's short presentation, I'm gonna show you boom, boom, boom. So now the audience is like, number one, I've got command energy, so they can relax now. They want to feel like all of us want to know the speaker is not going to waste our time.
yeah, 100%.
So, and if I have that command energy coming on the stage, lowering my tonality, how many of you? Okay. So, and then I go in the short presentation. Everyone loves, Jay, a short presentation.
Yes, agree.
Right? So,
Yeah,
in the short presentation, and it is I don't care if it's not short, just say it's gonna be short anyway. In the short presentation, you're gonna boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna show you this, this, and this. Everybody now, you can almost see it in the room. Exhales, everybody's relaxed. We know somebody who knows how to drive the car is driving the car. You know what I mean? Like when
yeah,
you're with a good driver,
yes.
you're like, I can relax.
Right. Okay. I love this. And so, first of all, the greatest thing you've ever said is that tell them it's short, even if it's not short, because I'm going to use that because it's so true. I mean, that's why this podcast is short, but like no one wants anything long. It's just
No,
and it's
no.
ridiculous.
It's too much. It's
Too
too
much. It's
much.
like when I go out for dinner, my wife would be like, "Okay, we have plans with this couple." I go, "Where are we going?" If it's more than 20 minutes, I'm like
Oh.
0%. I'm not going. I'm out. I'm out. I'm not going. Like,
I'm the
it's too
same.
far.
I'm
Yeah,
the same.
yeah, too far, too far. Uh,
It's too much.
too much. And so now, okay, now you go through the things, you get everyone going. Is there like a closing thing to really close the
Ah,
deal?
yeah, yeah. Well, and I mean, and just kind of like, few few kind of peaks I'd
Yeah.
hit after
Okay.
that
Okay.
opening thing. I'd
Yeah.
hit, my origin story of how did I discover this digital marketing system. Now we're bought into, tell me more. Now
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
where you can feel the desire. Then I'll go into like how the system works. And then as I close, I'm gonna probably do a case study, something that worked for me or a student, and that just seals it with another story, anchors the authority. This dude knows what's up. And then what I like to do, Jay, is I like to close. actually kind of with like I call it a Mr. Rogers ending. So I close with like a piece of literature that might be well known. It could be like a poem, it could be sometimes song lyrics. I can give you an example. But as I do that, I'll say like in closing, and then I'll share something that's meaningful. And you can almost hear the audience at the end of that go, and and then you say, "Thank you so much for like having me." The audience just stands to their feet. It's like a performance.
So wait a minute. What do you close with like a sentence from Pearl Jam? What do you mean you close with a song?
You
No,
know, that might be that should be yours, so let's write that down.
yeah. Like, what are we
Yeah,
closing with?
yeah, like, for instance, there's y you know, the I would say pure imagination. I'm thinking of the movie
Of
Willy
course.
Wonka?
Yes. I'm Augustus
Okay.
Gloop. I like the chocolate.
Okay, so Gene Wilder, he sings this song called "Pure Imagination." Now,
Yeah.
almost every child has heard this,
Yes.
so I'm kind of inspiring people in my speeches. So I'll say, in closing, I would like to close with this song from Willy Wonka's Pure Imagination. And then I go right into it. And it's almost like this childlike joy, this anchored memory of pure, unbelievable, like everything's possible feeling comes across the room. So it's like it's emotion. What we want at every peak and valley is low emotion, high emotion. This drives the sale.
Wow. I like that. I like also like Lego Movie when they say everything is awesome. I'm
Oh
gonna
my
use that song. That's gonna be my song.
okay. Yours is gonna be so on brand. You're like,
Unfortunately
"Invite
for
this
me.
guy back."
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So okay, I have another thing I want to talk about. But before I get there, you were a pastor for 20 years, so I feel like
Yeah.
you have a cheat code. Like you don't get nervous at all when you go on a big stage. You're like,
Mm,
I've done this 4 billion times. I don't care. Or do you still like have to hype yourself up? You're like,
mm.
like
Yeah.
how do people get over nerves?
Yeah, but I mean, I think sometimes people they do say that to me. They think, "Oh, you're a pastor." So, I mean, I think people don't. I used to have anxiety attacks even as a pastor. So, in fact, one time I ran off the stage when they announced me.
Oh
So,
wow,
I've done it all, right? So, yes, I still do get nervous. I've learned a couple reframes in my mind that redirect that nervousness into excitement. So, for me, I have to reframe, and I can give you some of those if that would be
yeah,
helpful. But I'm just gonna reframe some of those thoughts so I can tap into an excited energy rather than a tight, rigid, pulled back fear
yeah,
energy.
yeah.
And
What are
that's
the woods to it?
what do you want me to mention some of those
Yeah,
things?
yeah, please.
One of the things is to think about your audience, how the audience has no idea that what you know. Like, we do not know, Jay, what you know, and what you know would change our lives. So if you as the speaker are backstage and think about the one person in the audience who was like you 10 years ago and who's like would do anything to have achieved what it is that you've achieved and to know what it is that you know and to speak to that one life and think about that life like I am that person's best hope at like achieving success, then you're motivated. Now it's like we're getting out of ourselves and we're focusing on them. They do not know your content. Like, the gap between where they are and what you know is so big, they need you so bad. So, we're just gonna focus on how much they need what it is that you have, and that starts to pull. That has a pulling energy rather than a pushing demand energy.
I love that. I'm gonna use that. That's actually really, really helpful. So while I still have you, there's one topic, and this is my own consultation right now. So I have never been comfortable. I want to get comfortable
Mm.
selling like products, if you will, content products, or selling like access to videos or whatever, all that stuff,
Mhm.
that whole world.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
always felt like I should give that away for free and then I'll sell my business services, whatever. I'd
Mm.
love to be, I'm being honest, I'd love to be in that business, but I feel nervous asking people to spend a lot of money on
Mm.
stuff. I feel like this is crap and it's not worth it and whatever.
Wow.
How
How do you get over that?
how do you go over that? And is that a real thing? And like this is your
Yeah,
world. You're selling these
yeah,
products. How do you
I
do
love
it?
it. Yeah, I built up conviction, but It was when I realized that your information in your mind has, like, inherent intrinsic value on its own, aside from you. So, differentiating, like, taking almost what it is that Jay, like, this is my energy drink, right? But,
Yeah.
like, it's outside of you, your system, your knowledge, your consultative experience, your steps, your frameworks is separate from you. It is not you, it's not, and you're not even 100% attached to that delivery. Your knowledge has intrinsic value, and this intrinsic value, if somebody gets it, could move the needle significantly in their business. So that I'm gonna focus my mind on this energy, like, the result of this once it hits someone's business. How much could let me ask you this, how much could, like, your framework, like, accelerate revenue or drive sales in a
A lot.
business, Jay?
A
A
lot.
lot?
Yes.
What would be, if you were to brag for a second, what would be like a client that you've worked with, or a company that, like, really experienced a big result?
Yeah, they've seen multiple seven-figure revenue growth from, like, just a handful of sessions.
Okay, that's nuts.
Right, and I tha and but that's and I'm like, "Here's my information." And so that's why I'm like, I'm not playing the game right.
Well, then so a great move for everybody listening is to have a VIP day. Like, just one day, like, what could you do with a business in one day? And then what I'll do is I'll kinda, like, price anchor that day really high, and then also just give people, like, a special deal. Like, normally I charge blah, blah, blah for a VIP day. Normally I charge, now this is like we're well over 6 figures here. Like, normally I charge that here, but for you, I could do this at this price. Let me give you an example. So
Yeah.
my VIP day, Jay, is $250,000.
Whoa. What do you get for
Yeah.
that? What do you get for that?
Well, before I tell you what, you're gonna get 1 day of my time for me to look at
Wow.
your business. Yeah, I know. And then I'll say, "Now, for you, in this situation, I'm gonna let you into my VIP day for $100,000 down and 25% of the revenue for the first 6 months." Pause. Which option works better for you?
Well, definitely the cheaper one, but I have a very real question. First of all, you're worth $1,000,000 or more, don't get me wrong. But, like, do
You're like,
people do it?
"Yeah, so yes." I mean, I just Yep, yeah, I mean, I just sold I was just on a private jet with 4 of them together doing a group VIP day, so I
So
do them
can I
with
ask you a question? Now I feel like I'm on a one-on-one call with you. Do you just when you promote that, do you send out an email to
mm.
your list of people saying, "Hey, you wanna hang with me for a
Hey!
day, give me 100 grand?" Like, and then you get people say, "Yes, I do."
I mean, there was a quote I heard from my friend Myron Golden who said, "The offer you don't make, no one can take." Right? So if nobody knows about if the offer isn't made, no one can pay you that amount, right?
Yeah,
So what I've done is, like, voice memo drops. So, like, I'll record a voice memo, and then it gets blasted out to my warm leads, and be like, "Hey, Lean's got a jet trip coming up. If you'd like to take us up on this, like, kind of hop on this one, we'll go to a call with somebody on the team." Yeah. So, I mean, you kind of swipe that aside. The point is your knowledge, Jay,
yeah.
your eye on the right avatar, the right business could produce multiple millions without you having to do anything.
Wow.
Like, imagine if you met with their whole team, their whole marketing team. Like, say, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you had, like, a
Right,
CMO or maybe C-suite, whoever, I don't know, a bunch of people,
right,
like, look at their I don't know,
right,
but
right,
you're doing
right.
I'm going through the whole business in that VIP day. Like, do this, do now you gotta do this, install this here, blah, 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 like,
Amazing.
you would crush.
Well, thank you. I'm excited. First of all, I'm excited about you being here. I learned a lot. This is all amazing. Everybody's gotten to get involved here. So Eileen wrote a book. It's called Move the Room. Okay. It's not just about speaking on stage. If you ever have to talk to a small team on the Zoom, if you have to talk to people in a conference room, if you have to go to a
Mhm.
cocktail party, if you're nervous about going to Thanksgiving and talking to annoying relatives, Move the Room will help you. I promise you. Eileen Wilder, we're going to put all of her stuff in show notes, Instagram, the whole thing. Eileen, what else should people do to get consumed in your world?
Oh, so thank you, Jay. MoveTheRoomBook.com is where you can grab. It's free. We've covered the cost of the book. People just pay for shipping, so it's our gift to you. So MoveTheRoomBook.com. Yeah, that's it.
Amazing. Every time we get to spend time together, I learn a lot. I get excited.
Uh,
Thank you. You are wonderful, and I appreciate everything you shared.
Thank you, Jay. Thanks for having me.
All right. Wait, the party is not over. Go to jschwedelson.com because I want to do stuff with you. I want to partner with you. When you click on the button Partner with Jay, you let me know what you got going on. Work with my agency, work with me directly, get access to all of my free resources at jschwedelson.com. And I got a book coming out this April. It's called Stupider People Have Done It, and all of the net proceeds are going to the V Foundation for Cancer Research. Go on Amazon, buy Stupider People Have Done It. That way you can help kick cancer's butt with me. And if this podcast wasn't the worst podcast you've ever listened to, it might have been, leave it a review, follow the show. You are awesome. Go out there and crush it.